So one of the common questions I get is what is a good accounts payable and accounts management system that I can use to collaborate with my clients, particularly when it comes to managing bills, accounts payable. So my clients generate and create bills in their accounting software like QuickBooks or Xero, and then I want to have a system somewhere where I can possibly initiate those payments in behalf of my client or manage them to remind my client, hey, you got to pay these vendors. So for that, I'm going to recommend a solution called Melio. Some people call it Melio, but it's Melio, meliopayments.com. And I'm going to show you exactly how Melio works, how to interact with your clients, how you actually make those payments, and how do you create a firm account for your firm. So let's start with that. So we are in the Melio Accountants homepage. I'm just gonna click on Start Now to create a brand new account. Now I'm gonna start by putting my email address. This is my firm's email address, and create a password for my firm's account. This is for my accounting firm's Melio account. Now you could also use your Intuit ID if you want to use that to sign up instead, or your Google ID. But if you don't have either one, just create an account with your email and a password. So after we click on sign up, we're probably going to get an email with a verification code to verify that it's us. Now we're going to pick accounting firm. However, if you happen to be a small business that is watching this, you would pick that option in the left, but we're an accounting firm, so we're going to pick accounting firm and then click continue. Then I'm going to put my information. This is the person that manages the Melio account for the accounting firm. So I'll put Hector Garcia, and then I'll put a mobile phone number so we can do secure verifications and that sort of thing. Now I'm going to put my firm's name. So it's my company's name for my accounting firm, Garcia and Company CPA. I could put the word firm or not. That doesn't really matter. Then I'm going to hit continue. Then I'm just going to put the address. So this is the firm's, again, we're not putting any client information yet. This is the firm's address. This is where we operate our business from. Then we can give it the number of clients that we normally manage. This is just for internal statistics purposes. You can skip that if you want to, but I'm just going to pick something here. Hit continue and then get started. Okay, that will get us all set with our Melio account. We're logged in as an accountant. Now we're going to create a new client, or we're going to sign up a client, invite the client, and I'm going to put the client's name. So let's say there's a client that I have. His name is, or the business name is Hector's Pet Shop. So we'll put there Hector's Pet Shop, and then we're going to put the client's email. And if the client already has a Melio account, it will just connect you. If they don't have a Melio account, then they'll get an email with the sign-up process. Now, if I already have access to their QuickBooks, I can click on sync to their QuickBooks file. I could put their QuickBooks login information and sync QuickBooks or Xero right away, but I don't have to. I'm going to hit back, and I'm going to skip that for now, and so just so we can finish the setup process. So I'm going to hit no, and we're going to go to the next screen. Okay, now I'm going to put my client's information. So let's say my client's also named Hector, and this is Hector Lopez. So Hector Lopez, and I'm going to put Hector's, my client's phone number, and then I'm going to hit continue. Then this is my client's address, and again, you could skip this part if you have the client sign up on their own. This is me creating the client's account in their behalf. So this is Pet Shops of Florida LLC. So let's say that's the name of my client's business. And then I'm going to say whether it's an EIN, if it's a business or an individual. I'm going to put that in there. And then I'll put their tax ID number. Again, I can skip this if I want to. I don't have to enter, but I'm doing it to show you the setup process. And you put the tax ID there, and then their actual address. And then I'll hit continue. Then you could put their estimated bill volume, whatever fits this company. Again, you can skip this if you want to. This is just for statistic purposes. Then I can start syncing by adding a payment method. So if I click on bank account, I can connect instantly, or put an ACH bank account number, have that verified, but I can skip that. So I'm just going to skip that. The client can set that up on their own when we invite them into Melio. So I'm going to hit continue. And then I can also choose, I could always add this later, whether I want to approve payments of a certain dollar amount, or if I don't know, I could just ask my client. I could put a little checkbox, and then my client will get that in the setup process, I'm just going to move forward and click on Get Started. So I am in the Melio homepage. When you click up here in the top left, you could choose to log in into the accounting firm itself. And I could be working in the firm, or I could be working inside of a client. So usually you're going to be interacting with your client once you log in the firm, and hopefully you have many clients set up into your Melio account. Now I'm going to add one more client here. I'm going to click on New Client, and let's assume this is a client that actually already has a Melio account. So I'm going to put here Hex Deck Store, and let's say this is another client that I have that already has a Melio account. So you can see how this will look a little bit different. Then I'm going to go ahead and click on No for the connection. And notice that it says a company, it's already registered with this email. Looks like this person already has a Melio account. So at this point, you will click on Got It, send my request, and then that client of yours is going to get an email, and all they have to do is approve and say, yep, this is my accountant. And then once they approve it, that's going to show up as a client. So now you see both ways to add a client, whether you're creating it from scratch, like we did it with Hector's Pet Shop, or with Hex Tech Store that already had a Melio account that got sent essentially an invitation. Okay, now let's talk about how your QuickBooks data or Xero, because it connects to Xero too, can interact with your Melio. So essentially how your client's accounts payable and accounts receivable will be viewed when you are logged in as an accountant and you're managing multiple clients in here. So I'm going to click on Hector's Pet Shop. So right now it's blank. It doesn't have any information, but I'm going to sync the QuickBooks Online account or the Xero account to make sure that I see all the activity, all the accounts payable, all that stuff. So I'm going to click on Settings, and then I'm going to go down to Accounting Software Sync. Then I'm going to select either Xero, Connect to Xero, or QuickBooks Online, and then click on Connect. I'm going to put the user ID and password connected into an account, and then we're going to choose which of my clients, in this case, I have a whole bunch of clients, which of my clients should connect to that particular Melio account. So I'm going to come down here, go through my client list, and pick the one. So I have this one called Hector's Pet Shop, which is the one that I want to connect, and then I'm going to click on Next. So you do have to establish that connection, either you as the accountant or your client. When you invited your client, they also had the opportunity to connect their QuickBooks or their Xero. So it's either you or them doing that integration. I absolutely recommend that you do that because it's going to save you just tons of time. So once the sync is fully completed, I can get back into my accounting firm, and I'll be able to see, assuming I have multiple clients connected to this, I see Hector's Pet Shop. I can click on that, and now as the accountant, I can now help manage my customers' accounts payables or accounts receivables. So all these things that you see here are outstanding bills that are in QuickBooks Online. Now, you don't have to use the bills in QuickBooks Online. You don't have to sync QuickBooks Online. You can actually use, or Xero for that matter, you can actually use Melio as a standalone product, and you can create your own bill. So you can click here, it says new payment. You click on that, and then you can either upload your bill from a PDF and go to that process, or add the bill manually. So if you already have a vendor list, you could pick it from your list over here, or you can create a new vendor. Then if QuickBooks is connected, then you would pick your expense category or your chart of accounts account for that matter. That would be that would connect to that particular vendor. And then the dollar amount, so we put there $5,000. We can put whether it's a monthly recurring payment or a single payment. We can put the invoice number from the customer, when the invoice is due, and then a note to self if you want to. So you can click on Save and Pay Later or Save and Schedule Payment. So in order to schedule the payment, you do have to have your bank accounts, your credit card, your debit card, whatever you're going to use to pay. You would have to have that synced in into Melio, and I have a different video in my channel that kind of walks through that process. But right now, just so you know, you can create those bills, which you can either pay them yourself as the accountant, or you can set them up so your customers or your clients, when they log in, they can make those payments as well. So I just want to show you something else. If I am in QuickBooks and I create a bill, so I'm going to create a bill here. And I'm going to create a new vendor just to kind of show you the process, how this stuff syncs into Melio. So I'm going to call this new vendor corp, just so it's very obvious that it's a new vendor. And I'll pick a category here, whatever it is, and we'll put dollar amount. Let's put 15,000. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and click on save or save and close. Then I'm going to go back into Melio. I don't see it here right now, but I'm going to click on sync. So that sync button, and by the way, every time you log in, the sync happens, but you can always push a sync if the sync hasn't happened yet. And essentially what we're expecting to see is that in your accounting software, QuickBooks, Xero, whatever it happens to be, because it's synced into Melio, you should be seeing all those bills coming in there. And you as the accountant can, again, make the choice. You can remind your client, hey, they have to pay that vendor. You can initiate that payment yourself, or you can make changes to the payment here under actions. I can make edits and make changes to, maybe the category that's going to go into, or the dollar amount, or bill number. So I can always update information in here as well. And it's both your client and yourself as the accountant will be able to collaborate. You can always delete it or mark it as paid if it was paid some other way and you're going to reconcile it later. But if you want to initiate that payment from Melio, you definitely want to do that. Now, I want to talk about that really quick, about how to make a decision on how you're going to initiate those payments. So you could pay with a credit card, and basically you're using your credit card to pay a vendor, and Melio will charge you 2.9%. That's a standard credit card fee. That's the credit card fee that the merchant would have charged your vendor if your vendor would have accepted a credit card payment. So if your vendor accepts a credit card payment, you just give them your credit card number and they can accept the payment and you're good to go. But if your vendor does not accept a credit card payment, they want to get a check, you can pay with your credit card, and Melio issues either the ACH deposit or writes the check to the vendor. So what you pay is at 2.9% because you're using your credit card. Now, if you pay with a debit card, same thing. They still charge you the 2.9% because you're paying with a debit card and not with an ACH. So if you want to pay nothing, essentially, you're going to once your bank account is connected, you're actually going to see the bank account with a little bank logo in it. So it just won't say bank on it. It will say the specific bank account and banking institution that you have. And then you will click on that and then click on continue. And then you can choose how you want to pay your vendor. So if you click an ACH, you're going to put your vendor's bank account number, assuming that you have it, or you can click on Ask Vendor for payment details, and you put your vendor's email address in there, and then your vendor will now have to create a quick Melio account so they can sync their bank account and they can receive that payment in there. If you do choose to send them a physical check, then you're going to pay $1.50, and then Melio will actually cut the check for you. If your vendor's international, you can pay $20. And you can pay any of the countries that are here. I believe there's like 80 plus countries that are in there. So these are kind of the ways you can pay your vendor to their bank account directly. If you use your credit card, simple. You just click on credit card and you're going to take out your credit card and put your credit card information in here. And just keep in mind, they're going to charge you 2.9%. I'm going to change this to $1 really quick, and so I can actually show you a demo. So let's try that. I'm going to click on pay per check. Then put the name of the vendor, put continue, put the address, choose the date. Okay, so I'm going to choose the 27th. And just keep in mind that if I want it to be faster, I can use fast and they would get it pretty much really, really quick for $20. But I can do standard and that could take a week or a week plus if there's an actual check involved. If there's no check involved, it should be 3 to 5 business days, and you can also pay a rush to get it there quicker. So then you just follow through the process and then hit confirm and schedule payment, and you can schedule that payment. So again, if it's ACH, it's 3 to 5 days. You can pay a rush for quicker. If it's with a check, it could take a week plus, probably about a week or so, or you can pay extra to have it done within a day or two. And that's it. You can then notify your vendor or be done, and that's how you fully execute a payment. And then you can see all the payments that haven't been paid here, and we can see the stuff that's scheduled to be paid, and then once that gets fully processed, you're going to see it there on paid. Now you can also do all this with accounts receivable too. So you can click on new invoice, and you could choose whether you want to upload an invoice that's already like in PDF or scanned or something like that, or you can enter your invoice information here manually, and you can same kind of process. You can create those invoices and get paid via Melio as well. So you got the ability to pay vendors, you got the ability to get paid from customers. And something worth mentioning here under settings, down here where it says receiving methods, you can actually choose whether or not you want your customer, so the one that pays you, to bear the 2.9% credit card fee if you want your customers to pay you with their credit card. Now, if you click on My Business Pays the Fee, which is an option too, then you're allowing your customers, the ones that are gonna pay you, pay your invoices, you're allowing them to pay you with a credit card, and then you bear the 2.9% fee as a merchant. So that's a really cool distinction, because a lot of merchant processors and accounts receivable management systems always have the vendor be the one that the actual seller, the one that's invoicing, the one that actually pays the 2.9 fee. So I love the fact that Melio actually allows you to switch it and pass that fee over to your customers that are paying your invoices. And you can do this in your own firm. So you have a free Melio account for your own firm. You can also set it up for your clients, collaborate with your clients, and that's it. I strongly recommend that if you want a really, really low cost, in this case, most things are going to be free solution for accounts payable management to collaborate with your clients, Melio is a great option. Again, you're going to pay a little bit more if you want that sort of next day, if you want a check actually being sent, or if you're going to pay vendors with a credit card, and that's all understandable. But most of the ACH 3 to 5 business day payments, you're going to be able to manage them with Melio, no problem. Your customer, your client will be able to do them, no problem. And you can choose in what capacity you want to collaborate with your clients. Anyway, I hope you like this video. Go ahead and give Melio a try. Set up a free account. I'll put a link in the description below, and I'll see you on the next one.